a little bit of how do you get business from trust? Now, one way, and you just mentioned it kind of passing, which is you refer business to attorneys, estate planning. I think a lot of real estate agents look like they want to start the machine by getting business referred to them, but it doesn't really work that way, does it?
No, especially with attorneys. I mean, attorneys, it takes a lot of time to build relationships with them. And I think more so, in my opinion, is I think they're more into not want to get sued and all that. So they tend to need to have you build up a trusted relationship with them. And that can take time. You can smooth them all you want, but really it is that they have to trust you, and so, and part of that trust is you start referring business to them, and you're doing a great thing, because also too, you're helping your clients protect their greatest asset that you just help them buy.
Right.
So you want to go in. So, I say to people now, just go back into your database. This is a great time to touch your past clients and go check and see if they have their property in the trust.
Which is public record information. If you don't have it in your file, how they take title, name of husband or wife, or name of trust, you can go into, if you're a realtor at the, like I'm in the west side of LA, our Realist membership, you go in, put the property address, it'll show you the property profile and the tracking and such, or your title rep can give you a program you can look up as well. Right. But you should go through your database of closed files and know how they took title. And like Taunee saying, and call them up and offer that. And so let's imagine I'm a customer who called you about estate planning. Now, I'm only going to call you, I imagine, that you're promoting it in your social media, right? That it's important, and give me a phone call. We'll have a conversation. I'll refer you to somebody. How do you get the customer to talk to you in the first place about that topic?
Well, first off, it gets helpful if you go ahead and get that certification of being a probate trust specialist. Yeah. So I start the conversation with that, saying that I am a certified, probate and trust specialist. And I go through, but first after you say hi, how you doing, catch up, right? What's happening in their lives and everything. And I pretty much go through and I say, you know what, I was looking at your property profile and I noticed that you don't have your home in a trust. Are you familiar about, that California, I'm talking about California is a probate state. And let me tell you how probate goes. And then I tell them some nightmares, stories that happen, especially with siblings, and everything. I mean, and I just covered a little story about it. And I said, and I tell them how much probate costs, because, a probate attorney on $1 million property, they're getting like $25,000. Whereas you go and get a trust done for $1,500, So I explained that process. Then I explained about how, it's public knowledge, and how probate with the trust is private, but probate, that is public. And the lenders and the credit collectors, they all get a piece before your heirs do. And everybody knows your business. Whereas trust, it's nice and private. In trust, it can be sold, 30 days or 60 days, right? And you can get the money right away. Probate, it could be 9 months, 12 months, or later on before you see that money. So I explained that part of it. But
if you're lucky.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a good relationship with my clients. They do see me as a trusted real estate advisor. So, they let me yap for a while, And
no, I'm saying you're lucky you get your money in 9 months or 12 months. Sometimes it's a year. If it's litigated, it could be years before you see your money, right?
Exactly. Right. And that's one of the nightmare stories. I even bring up, stuff that happened with the famous people that's happening right now with Aretha Franklin, in those cases. So I do bring up those nightmares too. But I do bring normal stuff in, like, two siblings arguing about a 25-unit building, and how, probate really can cause, some really family issues, and just be responsible and just spend the money and get a will, get a living will. And I talk about all that stuff and everything, but I don't go too much to the legal because I'm not an attorney, but I do say that. And then when I happen to have them on the phone, I ask them about their parents' address, because most likely the parents going to die before they do. Right. And I explain to them, let's avoid your siblings and you get into an argument, to have issues if your parents don't have their stuff in the trust. So I get their parents' address too. It's kind of cool if they happen to live in California. And I look at them like, oh, they don't have a trust. So yeah, maybe, we can do a conference call, or have you talk to my estate planning attorney, who I think would be perfect, to talk to your parents and talk to you. Let's get that in the trust to avoid all this, headaches later on in the road.